Good morning, everybody. Oh my goodness, so much coming in. Thank you, everybody. We appreciate your help. Kingdom Halls for sale or have sold coming in. So if any of you know of any Kingdom Hall and the address or a property listing, please, send it to us, because we're working on the nail and coffin, and we're going to have an update for the Watchtower property tracker for everyone this weekend. I think everyone will be surprised at how much has been added just in the past month. So we look forward to that. Now, I received an email from Ruth Morum. Thank you very much, sweetie. And I'm going to put the link down below to her YouTube channel, because she has been doing this court thing with Watchtower. Now, we all know that they think they're above the law, and she's trying to hold them to task for this. So like I said, I'm going to put the link down below to her channel. Now, I'm going to read her email, but I'm also going to put the link to the court order that she has done. And I've got some stuff that I want to mention, because I know this is a fact from first-hand knowledge. All right. Attached is the Irish court order of February 2020. Watchtower is supposed to use fair procedures in their internal judicial system, but so far there is no sign they are changing anything. I'm going to have to do something about this. I wish all of us would do something about this. I have sent the relevant info to the charity regulator in Dublin, so we'll see what happens. Anyway, this is so that you can send this to anyone who needs help when Watchtower forces them to attend a judicial hearing. The elders are supposed to inform them first of the charges against them and allow them plenty of time to defend themselves. Elders are supposed to do this before making up their minds, but they never do. I sent it to a man in Greece who is going to use it in his court case as a precedent. You are very welcome to use any of my material on your site or not, as suits you. You do a far better job of it than I do. I don't know about that, sweetie, because you're calm and logical. We're kind of like ranting and raving, and we get very passionate about this. But the thing is the reason we get upset is because of the hypocrisy and injustice. Now, I had told her about what happened to us. And I know JW Struggle, did a video about us 8 years ago, how to disfellowship 2 people with 0 proof. And I'm going to put the link down below to that. And many of you have heard our story, but we have not actually read the legal documents that went back and forth of this. And Ruth suggested, I told her we had all this, and good idea, sweetie, because I don't think we covered this as far as the elders and how they handled this. So I'm going to read the documents. Now, I'm not going to retell the story, because many of you know, what happened. Is Mike had made a comment to his mom about he can't use the name Jehovah, he will use the name Yahweh. He had shown his brother some subliminal images in the Watchtower literature. His brother David is not a witness, but David showed the mom. The next day, the mom started calling everybody and saying we were apostates and called her elders. Now, we all know that story, but I am going to use these documents that went back and forth, even from Watchtower. So, now I'm going to start with the first letter that was certified mail that we got from the Tejeras congregation, our elders. August 23rd, 2013. Dear Michael and Kim Brooks, the body of elders of the Tejeras, New Mexico congregation has appointed a judicial committee to meet with you concerning allegations of wrongdoing involving apostasy. We want to assure you of our genuine interest in your spiritual welfare and our heartfelt desire to provide you with the assistance in this matter. You are also aware that these sins are serious, and if a person were guilty of such practices and found unrepentant, he would be subject to disfellowshipping. It is for these reasons that the Judicial Committee encourages you to meet with them on Saturday, September 7th at 7 p.m. at the Kingdom Hall located at 75 North Zamora Road in Tijeras. If the date or time for this meeting would be a hardship for you, please feel free to contact me at 505-281-1549 so that we can select a date and time when you would be available. If we do not hear from you or you choose not to be present for this meeting, the Judicial Committee will then consider the available facts and reach a decision. Nevertheless, we sincerely hope that you will choose to attend this meeting to benefit from this Bible-based arrangement to shepherd those who are in need of assistance. Sincerely, Peter Herrera, Judicial Committee Chairman. Now, what's interesting, in their own rules, if an elder's involved in the investigation, like Pete was one of them that showed up and was questioning me, investigating this, and I wouldn't give them any information. I said, go talk to Mike's mom because she's slandering us. So it was interesting that he was the chairman of this committee when he was part of the investigation also. That's a no-no in their rules. Now, at that time, we were members of Legal Shield, and so we can have lawyers write letters for us for no charge. And so we did. This was, the Legal Shield lawyer office in Albuquerque. August 16, 2013, to the body of elders of the Tijeras Congregation Jehovah's Witnesses, regarding Michael and Kim Brooks. To whom it may concern, I write on behalf of Mr. Michael Brooks and Mrs. Kim Brooks. Mr. and Mrs. Brooks inform us your organization was giving false statement by Mr. Brooks' mother, claiming that they had left the Jehovah's Witness organization and had turned apostate. Since that time, they advise that they have been the victims of a witch hunt and harassment by your organization. Mr. and Mrs. Brooks have received phone calls from Mr. Richard Sedlak questioning their beliefs and their stand in the Watchtower Bible Tract Society's organization and has even arrived at their home unannounced with an elder to continue your questioning. On a separate occasion, Mr. and Mrs. Brooks advised that Pete Herrera arrived at their home with another elder to speak with Mrs. Brooks. Ms. Kim advised them that any conversations held between Michael and his mother were in regards to a personal family matter and not to their religion, and politely asked them to leave. They have further informed you that they do not wish to discuss any matters with your organization. Please see the enclosed statement of facts. Mr. and Mrs. Brooks continue to receive harassing phone calls from people in your organization because they kept calling wanting to have a conference call with us. On behalf of Mr. and Mrs. Brooks, we hereby advise you that your recent conduct with respect to Mr. and Mrs. Brooks is in violation of the law and constitutes harassment. New Mexico State Law 30-3A-2 defines harassment as below. Harassment consists of knowingly pursuing a pattern of conduct that is intended to annoy, seriously alarm, or terrorize another person and that serves no lawful purpose. We just wanted to be left alone. The conduct must such be that it would cause a reasonable person to suffer substantial emotional distress. Being shunned and all the family and everybody be told that we were apostates before we even had our judicial hearing. Tell me that's not stressful. This letter serves as a demand that you immediately cease and desist this conduct or any related conduct. Any further conduct by you or your agents will force Mr. and Mrs. Brooks to take legal action. Your immediate attention to this issue is appreciated and expected. Further, we demand that you respond in writing directly to Mr. and Mrs. Brooks at their address shown within 10 business days from the date of this letter, acknowledging its receipt and agreeing to comply with the foregoing demand. Your failure, refusal, or neglect to respond will lead us to conclude that you are not interested in resolving these disputes short of litigation. Pursuant to Rule 16-402 of the New Mexico Rules, undated 2009. You have our permission to communicate directly with Mr. and Mrs. Brooks. They will contact us if necessary. And then it's signed by the lawyer. And this is just statement of facts that we had attached to the lawyer's letter. Now, not only did this get sent to our body of elders, but it was also sent to Watchtower. Okay, and our statement of facts is dated August 15, 2013. Michael's mother, Joanne Brooks, called the body of elders in Cottonwood, Arizona, and started a malicious, slanderous rumor that we have left the Jehovah's Witness organization and have turned apostate. An excommunication, shunning, disfellowshipping offense. Since then, we have been the victim of a witch hunt and harassment by the local body of elders of the Tejeras Congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses. Richard Sedlak started calling and questioning my beliefs and our stand in the Watchtower Bible Tract Society's organization. He then tried a conference call with Robert Caparella. We have asked them politely to leave us alone and quit harassing us. But then on May 13, 2013, Richard Sedlak showed up uninvited and unannounced to our home. With an elder named John, was not told his last name. We actually believe he was an overseer or representative from the Watchtower organization and continued the questioning. We thought maybe he was the circuit overseer. We then asked them nicely to just leave us alone, that we do not want to talk with them. We thought this was done and they were going to leave us alone until last week on August 7th, Pete Herrera showed up at our home with another elder, don't remember his name, and wanted to talk to Kim. I told them that I did not want to discuss anything with them, but they asked if we could discuss it. So I asked them in and told them that Mike's decision with his mother back in February had absolutely nothing to do with our religion, that it was a personal family matter. Mr. Herrera asked if they could meet with Mike and wanted to talk to him. I informed them that neither one of us wanted to discuss anything with them, and we were not going to go to our local Kingdom Hall to discuss anything. We are done talking to elders. Then last night, August 14th, Pete Herrera, along with another elder on a conference call, called us on the phone and asked to speak to Mike. Mike informed them, according to the Bible, the body of elders usurped his headship by coming out here and talking to Kim alone on a serious spiritual matter without him as head of this family, and that Michael was stripping them of their authority and hung up on them. We know from experience that the next step they will take is sending a certified letter requesting our presence at a judicial hearing, and that they will keep harassing us if this is not stopped by legal action. And sure enough, it was after this that we got our invitation for the judicial hearing. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with Watchtower's definition of apostasy, the Elder's Manual at that time, we sent a copy of it, with our letter to the lawyer, our statement of facts to the lawyer. This is chapter 5, page 65. Apostasy. Apostasy is a standing away from true worship, a falling away, defection, rebellion, abandonment. It includes the following. And apparently we were being accused of deliberately spreading teachings contrary to Bible truth as taught by Jehovah's Witnesses. So there's your legal standpoint of why they felt, we were apostates. August 27th, we received the reply back from Mario, Watchtower's Associate General Counsel. And he sent it to the lawyer instead of us. I represent the elders in the Tejeras Congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses, New Mexico, to whom you sent a letter dated August 16, 2013, concerning your clients, Michael and Kim Brooks. Further, I acknowledge that the body of elders of the Terrace congregation received your August 16, 2013 letter. However, my clients deny the allegations in your letter. You can be assured that my clients have not harassed your clients, and they have no intention of harassing your clients. On the contrary, they have tried to provide and would still like to provide spiritual help to your clients who are both still members of their congregation. In furtherance of their desire to provide spiritual help to your clients, they recently sent them a letter inviting them to meet with a congregation-appointed judicial committee. The purpose of a judicial committee, which is composed of at least 3 elders, is to try and assist a member of the congregation who is on a dangerous spiritual course. What was the dangerous spiritual course we were on? We weren't talking to anybody. My clients sincerely hope that your clients will avail themselves of this offer to assist them if they so desire to receive spiritual help. Please direct any further communication you may have regarding this matter to the attention of my office, as I represent the Harris congregation elders in this matter. Oy vey. Now, after we had received our invitation to the judicial hearing, we had sent them this letter. Dear body of elders of the Terrace congregation, we have received your letter dated August 23rd, requesting our presence at a meeting scheduled for September 7, 2013, 7 p.m. We are interested in meeting with you. However, due to long-standing prior obligations that cannot be adjusted, we are unavailable to meet with you on September 7th. And that's, Mike was going deer hunting. He was going to be out of town. At this point in time, we have no availability in our schedule to meet with you until approximately October 1st, 2013, because he wasn't even going to be back until like the 30th. While this may not be what you were anticipating, as the letter we received addresses some serious allegations that we desire to resolve, our schedule simply does not allow us to meet within the time frame you have suggested. We hope you understand. In order to be better prepared for a meeting, we request the following in writing: the name of our accusers, the specific charges against us, evidence you possess substantiating said charges. We have looked extensively through the Watchtower CD-ROM for information stating that a judicial committee cannot be formed in the absence of evidence and allegations based on hearsay. If you have a reference source which says otherwise, would you be so kind as to include that in writing along with the other materials we've requested? Thank you. It is our understanding that a judicial committee cannot be formed merely based on hearsay and unsubstantiated claims. We have been asked about the matter alluded to in your letter to us, and our answer has consistently been that the charges are without merit. We are very concerned that Matthew 18:15 through 17 has never been applied in our situation, that this matter has been investigated by elders from 2 different congregations in 2 states, and we have yet to know who our alleged accusers are, what the nature of the charges are, what evidence has been offered to support the veracity of the charges or warrant an investigation. Since we have answered that the charges are without merit and no evidence has been offered by the elders of either congregation, we are perplexed as to how this situation has progressed to the point of a judicial committee when no basis for it has been established in even the most fundamental sense. We are only requesting that matters proceed according to clear scriptural direction and according to what is clearly stated in Watchtower literature, namely that we have a right to face our accusers and know the nature of the charges against us. In our view, if the simple Bible directive found at Matthew 18:15 through 17 had been applied initially, none of this would be necessary. For your convenience, we have listed some important source materials, a basis in regard to our above request. Please see the Watchtower, January 22nd, 1981, pages 16 through 19. And of course they wrote back September 7th, 2013, Body of Elders. We have received your letter dated August 29th, 2013 regarding your presence at your Judicial Committee hearing scheduled for September 7th, 2013. We do appreciate that we all have very busy schedules and we all have many obligations. For this reason, we have rescheduled your Judicial Committee hearing for Wednesday, September 18th. It was only, 10 days later? Mike was still going to be gone. At 7 p.m. at the Kingdom Hall located Harris, New Mexico. This date and time is firm. This is your opportunity to respond to allegations, and it would be in your best interest to arrange your schedule to be present. You feel the love? As for the information that you already requested, it will be provided at the hearing. So they don't give you any information prior to your hearing. And that is Ruth's complaint too. That you don't even know what the allegations are until you actually get your judicial hearing. So how can you possibly defend yourself or prepare to defend yourself? Going on. If we do not hear from you or you choose not to be present for this meeting, the Judicial Committee will then consider the available facts and reach a decision. We sincerely hope that you will choose to attend this meeting to benefit from the Bible-based arrangement to shepherd those who are in need of assistance. We look forward to meeting with both of you. No, they don't. All right, so we sent this back to them September 11th, 2013, to the Body of Elders of Harris Congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses. Dear Body of Elders, we received your letter dated September 7th, 2013. I just have a few concerns before our judicial hearing. I couldn't help but notice that our letter was signed by Pete Herrera as the chairman. According to your Shepherd the Flock book on page 68, page 24, please see enclosed copy. If asked, elders could participate in step 2, but they do not represent the body of elders. If the matter proceeds to step 3, any elders who were witnesses in step 2 could serve only as witnesses in step 3. They would not be used to serve on the Judicial Committee in step 3. So here is an elder who was used in the investigation process, and he's the chairman of our judicial hearing. They don't even follow their own rules. Pete Herrera, Richard Sedlak, and Robert Caparella, John, no last name was given, Brother Stewart, were all used in part 2 of this investigation, which means they are considered witnesses and cannot be on the Judicial Committee. Since my mother, Joanne Brooks, was the one that started this accusation, and it was by her testimony to her elders that started your investigation against us, will she be present at our judicial hearing as a witness? Also, I was told that my mother has evidence against us. I want to know what it was, and I make request that it be made available for inspection prior to our judicial hearing. Please send a copy to the address below. So I would like to ask you, if the Superior Court of New Mexico sent you a letter and said you'd been accused of a crime, the penalty, if guilty, is life imprisonment or death, and you must show up on X date to be tried, how would you feel? If you asked who your accuser is, what you are being accused of, and what evidence exists for such a claim, and the court replied, we're not going to tell you any of that. Just show up and we'll tell you in court. Would you feel like you were getting a fair trial? If the court said they'd convict you anyway, if you choose not to show up, would you see that as justice? If they allowed no witnesses for your defense and no legal representation, would you see that as justice? Or would the entire proceeding stink of injustice and abuse of power? That's what you are doing to us. Now, we were quoting that from the 1981 Awake, January 22nd, pages 16 to 19. Even in non-Jehovah Witness courts, the law of the land and the very law of civil rights states that I am to know my accusers and the evidence against me before my hearing in order to defend myself. Also, I have to question, based on the above mentioned article in Exodus 18:21, the qualifications of the judges that are appointed over my judicial hearing. Several of you elders are guilty of usurping my headship and questioning my wife without me being present. Since you do not have respect for the headship arrangement as clearly outlined in the Bible, it indicates to me that you men are not capable of judging me fairly. Because when you neglect to apply the very basic meaning of the headship arrangement, you have no fear of God and are not trustworthy, and you have lost your freeness of speech. According to the 2005 organization book, pages 148, paragraph 2, it appears that out of necessity, the Watchtower Bible Tract Society has to keep changing policies. Such things as fornication, adultery, homosexuality, blasphemy, apostasy, idolatry, and similar gross sins no longer follow the biblical guidelines set out in Matthew 18. This is based on Christ's own words. Shame on you for going against Christ's own words. Do you even realize that when you forsake the words of Christ in lieu of organizational procedure, you make the Word of God invalid because of your changing traditions? Powerful stuff. In closing, Matthew 7, 1 through 5. We have it quoted here. Stop judging that you may not be judged. For with what judgment you are judging, you will be judged. And with the measure that you are measuring out, they will measure out to you. Why then do you look at the straw in your brother's eye, but do not consider the rafter in your own eye? Or how can you say to your brother, allow me to extract the straw from your eye, when look, a rafter is in your own eye? Hypocrite! First extract the rafter from your own eye, and then you will see clearly how to extract the straw from your brother's eye. Romans 2, 1 through 5. Therefore you are inexcusable, O man, whoever you are. If you judge, for in the thing in which you judge another, you condemn yourself, inasmuch as that you that judge practice the same things. Verse 2, now we know that the judgment of God is in accord with truth against those who practice such things. But do you have this idea, O man, while you judge those who practice such things, and yet you do them, that you will escape the judgment of God? Or do you despise the riches of his kindness and forbearance and long-suffering, because you do not know that the kindly quality of God is trying to lead you to repentance? But according to your hardness and unrepentant heart, you are storing up wrath for yourself on the day of wrath and of the revealing of God's righteous judgment. In the end of it all, based on the ransom sacrifice, Christ is the only being in this universe that will judge me. Sincerely, Michael P. Brooks. From the Taharis Congregation, September 19, 2013. Dear Michael and Kim Brooks, on September 18, 2013, a judicial committee of the Taharis, New Mexico congregation decided that you should be disfellowshipped from the congregation for the reasons mentioned in our previous letter inviting you to meet with the judicial committee. If you decide to appeal this decision, you must do so in writing within 7 days from the date of this letter. Your letter of appeal should state why you believe the judicial committee's decision is in error, and you should direct your letter to the undersigned, Pete Herrera, Judicial Committee Chairman, Taharis, New Mexico. Why should we appeal it and try to get back in the organization? No. This whole thing was unlawful, unbiblical. They didn't even follow their own rules. And I hope this can help those of you who may have to go through this yourself. And like I said, I'm going to put the link down below to Ruth's court order that she has filed. And just know that you cannot expect any fairness or justice. They will not state what beforehand, what the allegations are. You have to show up to your judicial hearing to hear what they are. And how is this fair? This is highly illegal. Highly illegal. So anyway, like I said, I hope this helps anyone. I hope this helps you to see that, you cannot get any justice or fairness from this organization. They have their rules, and they don't even follow their own rules. The elders pretty much do what they want to do. So thank you so much for watching. I know this was a long one, and you have a wonderful day. Bye.